So what you've got is you've got your porterhouse. This has been out of the fridge for about an hour. What you really need to do is before you put it on the barbecue or into a pan, it needs to be up to room temperature. The worst thing you can do is take it out of the fridge, season it, and put it into a red hot pan. The steak's going to have the shock of its life and potentially is going to be chewy. So an hour out of the fridge, let it come up to temperature. You've got your Maldon sea salt, and you need to invest ideally in a thermometer. You can test with your hands, most chefs will do that. Personally, I don't think it's accurate. Everyone feels different things. Science tells us that your perfect cooking temperature at rare, medium rare is 50 degrees up to another 4 degrees, 54, 58 and so on. So invest in one of these. You can buy cheap ones from the supermarket. This is about £10. This is, it's adequate, it's okay, it works. And a good pan. This is a non-stick pan. If you're going to decide to put your steak in the oven in the pan, make sure it's a suitable pan that it doesn't have a plastic handle. So we're going to get our pan nice and hot. And I'll put a little bit of beef dripping, what you have left over. Again, a lot of people will tell you you can put it dry or use olive oil. Don't use olive oil, don't use extra virgin olive. If you're going to use anything, use beef dripping. It just makes sense to add beef on beef. If you put it, you can cook it without, but this is a guaranteed way of you getting a nice caramelisation in a pan. You'll need a small amount. When you're cooking at home, open all the windows. You need a red hot pan. Open all the windows, turn as much ventilation as you can. Or you can do what I do and don't turn anything on and spend half an hour walking around the house turning the fire alarms off. So, Maldon sea salt. Nicely all over one side. Remember, you need to save some for your roast potatoes at the end. 2. And with your excess salt, dip the sides. It needs to be seasoned all the way around. Like so. Got a nice hot smoking pan. Gently in. You're looking for the beautiful, perfect char all the way around. The fat should be nice and crispy, nice dark brown colour on both sides. And I'm going to rest it in the pan. I'm going to finish it with a little bit of butter, some crushed garlic again. I'm going to run into my bush and get some rosiness and thyme. Let it rest in the pan. And if your cooking time is 10-15 minutes, it needs to be the same for resting. So for example, you cook for 15, rest for 15. Cook for 20, rest for 20. So we're almost there on the char. What I'm going to do now is turn the pan down slightly. If you can, just try and turn the steak once. What you're going to do is you're going to cook from one side. It's going to cook nearly to the middle, then we're going to flip it over, it's going to do the same the other side. You're going to try and avoid that bullseye effect, is what we call. So it's not grey on the outsides, bright red in the middle. So I want to slowly render that beef fat, otherwise it's just inedible fat. Turn my pan off. It's really important, you don't want to burn the butter. It just goes a nut brown colour. Baste it every few minutes. And then just leave that to rest on one side. Rest, and remember, is the same time of cooking. So you cook for 10 minutes, rest for 10 minutes. Cook for 15 and so on and so on and so on. Keep using your probe. This is a guaranteed way of you getting your steak off how you want it. So if you want it medium rare, go to 54 to 58 degrees. Every 4 degrees up will go to medium. So it's 58 to 62 will be medium. So if you can, I'm coming up there now already. So I'm going to take that out in the pan in a minute and just let it rest on its own. So we have our porterhouse steak, which is cooked. If you notice again, the lovely char I've got on both sides. This is what you're looking for. and slicing it. No need to wash the dish. Nice sharp knife, really important. Feel the bone in the middle. Take it all the way down and just follow the bone round. Like so. If you see in the inside. Same again on this side. What I like to do is put the bone back in there. And you want what I call nice, thick English slices, not French. We don't do it on an angle at Hawksmoor. Back in there. Just so it resembles what it started as. Back in there. Just a tiny bit over the top. And there you have your perfect Hawksmoor porterhouse at home.